Hi guys, if you didn't hear, epicseven has just announced a new Marrow mail, and with it I'm going to go over and kind of explain what exactly was announced, what you're missing, what you missed, all that and more in today's video. However, I just want to keep in mind or remind you guys, or I guess just alert you guys, that I'm not going to be talking about anything from my last video. We're just going to be covering the news from Marrow mail. That's the point of today's video. With that, let's get into it. So the first thing we have to talk about is this new Valentine side story that they have, in addition to the fact that, well, at the start of today's video, or at the start of their video, they talk about how it's been 7 years for epicseven, and it's the year of the snake, which is obviously why we have Fenny. But as we continue to progress through the video, they actually talk about and tease a new character known as Tori. Now, Tori is cool for a number of reasons, including her design, which I find to be pretty cute and endearing, and in case you're curious about her backstory, she is a convenience store worker by day, as you're seeing, and as I'm cutting off, I apologize. She is a streamer by night, which is, I don't know, that's pretty cool. I kind of empathize with that. Anyways, beyond that, we are also being given a skin for her, which is pretty cool, and to be honest, this skin is, it's a skin all right. Now, beyond that, we're also being given illustrations, and while all of this is cool, the most exciting thing I think about this entire section about the Valentine's illustrations is not only the fact that we're having it as a side story, but in addition to this, they also showed us a little bit of Tori's skill 3, which I think is pretty exciting. And oh, apologies, let me just hide myself for a second so you guys get a full view of what exactly is happening. Where am I? Take a look at her S3, which I will not skip, and I'll even turn on the sounds for. Sorry, there was no sounds. But in any case, that's totally fine. I thought that there were sounds the first time I watched it around. I must have been tripping. However, in addition to this, there were a couple of other changes that they announced. One of the biggest changes that I'd say actually is the fact that they're announcing the return of the, I guess the TFT or the auto chess mode that was formerly attached to Midnight Gala Lilius's activity, which is pretty cool. But now it's returning as a permanent mode with new changes and things like this, which are really cool. And honestly, I'm not even sure exactly who this character is, but this is also being teased or shown. But whatever the case is, the brawl is coming back, which is really cool. But something that I really want to touch on, because it's, in my opinion, probably the biggest announcement that they have specifically from today's video, is actually the changes to Guild War. And if you aren't someone that cares about Guild War or plays Guild War, I'm not sure what's going on here. However, I don't know why you wouldn't care about Guild War, since it gives you mystics, and mystics are very limited in the game. But they're actually updating mystics, or I shouldn't say mystics, they're actually updating Guild War, which hopefully includes or affects the mystics, maybe, hopefully, probably, very likely for the positive. But in regards to the next Guild War season, they decided to announce this whole change to Guild War as an adjustment or a transfer from the Azera Foundation format, or the Azera format in general, to us now going to the Lafundos format, which honestly is pretty cool. Now, again, they did announce additional rewards, or they're going to change or adjust rewards, which is really cool. And they also added a new Guild War item, if I'm not mistaken. If I can find it, where is it? Yeah, they've added a new item to the shop for Guild War. I'm not exactly sure what exactly these images are, but there are new items in general that are going to be added to this. I'm assuming this is, excuse me, I'm assuming this is gear, and this is obviously the modification gem box, but cool, exciting. Now, in addition to this, they're also, as I mentioned earlier, changing the format of the actual Guild War itself. And formerly, you had I think you had one fortress, and you had a couple outposts and stuff in addition to the defense towers. But now you have 3 fortresses. You've got a couple of outposts, a defense tower, or formerly there were no outposts. But now you have 3 fortresses, you have outposts, and then you also have the stronghold. This change in general, I think, is very welcome. I think a lot of players, especially myself, are kind of sick and tired of the generic format where it just feels like we're alternating between teams, and it felt like there was no life really left in Guild War. I felt like you would fight the same thing over and over, and although I don't think this is necessarily going to change the same, like, maybe 6 teams always being used in Guild War, I do think that adjustments or lively changes or any sort of enjoyable, fun adjustments to the game are pretty exciting. Now, one of the biggest changes that I actually want to talk about specifically regarding Guild War in a gameplay perspective or in a gameplay POV is actually in regards to disconnect. Now, if you're someone that has ever played Guild or ever done Guild War before, I'm sure that you on occasion may have done it while you're in the car or maybe while you're on the way to work, and you may have disconnected, which in 99.99% of cases just instantly means that you've lost, you forfeited, you disconnected, and your team or your guild is probably upset at you. Now, they're changing things now so that you have Guild War or Guild War disconnect protection, and you can now reconnect and attack after you've been disconnected, which is really exciting. Now, you might have seen it as a bit of a teaser, but there's this little screenshot here where we have all the different servers here, and what this actually means is that you can now fight against the other servers in epicseven, which I think is pretty cool. Now, of course, there's still going to be rivalries, but I think that in general, putting up barriers or walls between the servers is not really necessary, and especially since we have the ability to already fight against other servers in RTA, it felt like this was something that should also have probably come sooner rather than later. Regardless, I'm not going to complain. Now, additionally, there are going to be other updates to Guild War that they're going to announce, but now there's actually something even more exciting that I've neglected to mention, and I've saved the best for last, as they've done as well. And that's actually the fact that there are new characters, aka a collaboration, finally coming to epicseven. Now, I have some mixed thoughts about this because, truthfully, I think that a lot of people are excited about collaborations, and we maybe think about things like the Full Metal Alchemist collab. We maybe think about, things like Guilty Gear very fondly. However, with a couple of the more recent collaborations, sometimes the characters or the balance of the characters has been a little bit upsetting. However, I don't think that's necessarily something that I want to hold against or hold Smilegate to. I am very excited to have a collaboration because, again, it's new content, which is pretty exciting. And to be honest, there hasn't really been that much exciting content in general when it comes to epicseven. So Guild War changes in addition to a new collaboration, I think is very welcome and very appreciated. However, I do also want to say that this will also be added in addition to a new story, which seems pretty cool, I would say, and I'm pretty excited for. However, I think in general, I wouldn't judge too harshly about what the collaboration is, though I do want to mention that it has felt that since certain collaborations haven't returned, if I'm not mistaken, we didn't have Espa, and I am not positive if we've ever had Full Metal Alchemist. I don't think we've had that one back, but because some of the collaborations haven't returned yet, I'm a bit hesitant to really comment on anything other than the fact that the collaborations are coming back. However, I do think it's exciting that we're having one at all, and hopefully, or if I had to guess, maybe it's something more relevant. I don't know, maybe I can't even think of it. It could literally be anything. It could be any anime at this point. I really wasn't thinking that Overlord was going to be the collab that we got last time until they announced it. Maybe, and because apparently Overlord was one of the most voted for or pulled for collabs back in the day on the official Discord, maybe we can take a look at some of the other options, or maybe some of the new animes that are coming out. That may be one of the collaborations that we have. But otherwise, I don't know. Who knows, guys? Maybe we just get New Jeans collab. I don't know. Whatever the case is, I'm excited to see what it is. But whenever this ends up being the case, we're not exactly sure. I think this is supposed to be coming out in April of 2025. We don't have any exact dates, obviously, since it's so far in the future, but it's something cool to look forward to. Now, in addition to this, they did mention this very small note about like a bigger E7 World Championship because it's the 7th anniversary. I don't know exactly what that even means. Like, I thought the old E7 was pretty big. I don't know, maybe they'll have like an E7 where they go from like location to location, which would be really crazy, to be honest. But truthfully, I think it would really be nice if epicseven had anything that kind of brings the community together in an offline way, though I know that's very unrealistic. And outside of a few activities or a few events in either directly in Korea or in like the California area, they don't really typically have events like this, but maybe that's what they're referring to. These are all just speculations, no official assumptions or no official guarantees or confirmations here. Of course, just my projections. Now, that's going to be it for today's video though, guys. Honestly, I'm pretty excited about what they've announced. Feels like they were silent, we were kind of ruminating, we were kind of rumbling, seeing what they were cooking up, and I get that maybe, I guess, because of the new year and because of the holidays, they weren't ready to announce things. But hey, you know what? It's the end of the first month, or it's the end of the first month of the year. And we've been proven wrong. More than happy to admit that, hey, look, they've been cooking, complaining about the fact that they've maybe not had any announcements is kind of out the door because they've announced really big changes here. Excited to see what happens. I was wrong. I apologize. In any case, though, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you're excited for the update. And yeah, thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy. Cool updates. epicseven, cool update, Smilegate. Yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys all later. Bye-bye.